together to discuss with you guys. They are something y'all definitely need, because, I mean, we're losing a lot of water through bad meters. So it's something we definitely need. But I'll give y'all, or Forrest and myself, one or the other, give y'all an update very soon on that for some items for y'all to discuss.
Anything else, Steve, y'all? Thanks, Steve.
Thank y'all, man. Thank you.
All right, Tim, public works matters.
I ain't got nothing there.
I'm tired, buddy. Tim.
Hey, I have a question for me on that. Is the water line still torn up on First Avenue or
There's one on what?
First Street? Is it still torn up?
The
down
road
there?
is.
Okay, can I ask, a favor?
All right.
Up at Mr. Gaylord's house, can we put a sign, no through traffic, and maybe one by the Colonial
We had,
Funeral Home and
when
one
we
by
started, we
First?
had it up there. The
Yeah.
people were still coming around it, driving all the way down there.
But,
So it didn't do no good when we had it. But I'll be more willing to put it
Yeah,
back up there.
Tim, I was disgusted, that big red brick house was where we needed, and then up there on Rebecca, corner of Rebecca and First. Well, we had them, yeah, they still drive down
I
there.
had a complaint because somebody rode down there and it was pouring down rain and they couldn't get turned around and it was just a mess. So if you don't mind, I
No, we
appreciate
sure
it.
will.
Yeah, we got that first, and then, Aldermen Brown, your neighborhood, bowling. You tell, how many feet did you tell me you liked on that this morning?
We're gonna have to go at least another 30 or 40 foot.
Okay, this is a sewer problem.
Sewer line's about 14 foot deep.
Okay, anything else for Tim? Y'all got any more questions for Tim?
Appreciate what you done.
Thank you, Tim, yeah.
You know what?
You can go if you want to, you need some rest.
You ain't gotta tell me twice.
All right, police department matters.
Board, last time we discussed, the app, I talked with John and we discussed, if they were sole provider. Turns out they're not. They didn't have anything that quite needled it down good enough to be a sole provider. So I had to bring forward two other quotes, with the same style product. And both quotes, one's $43,600 and the other one it was closer. It was $10,786. So it was still a little bit over what we projected. So I do require both from y'all to proceed if you still want to with the original one. I also spoke with the individual, and he is glad to come in once we get that going, come in, sit down with everybody and discuss everything and show how it all works. So if I can get
Now, what were the two quotes?
43,600, and one of them was 10,786.
And the first one you had was 95 or 97?
95, 97, something like
He
that.
did, I think he meant 4,300.
Yeah.
No, 43,600.
That's what I thought you said.
That's why I was asking that, so.
I
43,000.
almost didn't want to say it, but there's
Well,
two
even
ones.
the 10,000 is.
And the other one's what?
Yeah, it's considered enough, so I
You
just.
still, even if the 43 was for something a little more involved, the 10 would be an
So
acceptable
the other
time.
one, what was the other one, 10?
10.7.
Okay.
So it's slightly higher than the previous one. So that's the vote I require on that tonight, so we can go ahead and make the phone call in the morning.
I say we go with 95, 97, the one we had discussed. You know, because you said they could do everything.
What was the name of that company?
That was thepoliceapp.com, I believe.
That's the one you recommended, right? All right, Sammy has a motion.
Second.
One second, all in favor? Okay.
Also, I do have individual we're looking to hire for part-time as a dispatcher. I can pass out hers and we can move into executive on that if y'all need to. She's full-time dispatcher with another county and a part-time dispatcher at a second county. I've worked with her for several years and she's an outstanding dispatcher. She just wanted to pick up part-time and work here. So we can wait for executive if y'all like or move forward now.
You recommend you get everything, I know her background, everything checked out, she's already.
Oh, yes, yes.
I got one question,
Yes.
and you probably need to be his personnel, probably need to go into executive.
Okay.
Okay.
We can do that. We can do that. Other than that, that's all I have.
You asked for a vote on this?
Well, since we're going to go to executive, I just
Okay,
do it there.
all right.
All right.
Thank you, Shannon. All right, zoning, Penny.
On January 9th, 2024, the zoning board held a hearing to consider a request for conditional use for Kingsley College, located in the building over here that was Bridgepoint Church. This request was based on placing a quasi-public facility in downtown Preservation District, which required a hearing for conditional use. After hearing from Andrew Howard and Jessica Robinson, the zoning board unanimously voted to recommend to the Board of Aldermen that this request for conditional use be granted. And Ms. Robinson is here tonight in case anybody has any questions for her.
I make a motion we accept the zoning board recommendation.
All right, Sammy, motion.
Second.
Sue, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, Board. It's going to be a wonderful addition to our city, and they have lots of students ready and excited to begin as soon as they get their doors open. That same night, the zoning board held a hearing to consider a request for rezoning from RM to C3 for Mr. Chad and Mrs. Logan Hand for their property located at 901 Fifth Avenue Southeast, McGee. After hearing from the Hands, the zoning board voted unanimously to recommend that this board grant approval to the Hands to rezone their property, which they were not able to use because it was RM, non-conforming, 1.3 acres. And then they wanted it rezoned to commercial C3, which they're surrounded by already. And they are also in attendance here tonight if you have any questions for them.
I make a motion we accept the zoning board recommendation.
All right, Sammy, Luana, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Board. The third hearing of January 9th, 2024, we had a busy night. The zoning board heard a request for dimensional variances for a dental facility proposed by Mark Broom on behalf of Dr. Lake Garner on 49 North Frontage Road on the parcel where the old Quality Foods warehouse used to be, well, before it was destroyed by a tornado. After reviewing reports about the site inspections by the building inspector, the fire chief, the superintendent of public works, and MDOT, and hearing Mr. Broom, the zoning board voted unanimously to recommend to this board that the request for dimensional variances be granted. I sent y'all the copies just because it's a weird, when you see it, it's a weird building. It's so the side of it will face the frontage road because it's a triangular little part of land, so they're trying to maximize their land use, and it's got every kind of utility you can think of on it, but that building is situated between all of those. So it was we looked at everything pretty carefully and then figured that that was a really good way to, we were concerned a little bit about the precedent. We didn't want to be granting a lot of variances on 49, but this is a very specific situation with the land and how it's shaped. So we don't anticipate that there would be a lot of, that this won't be a bad precedent. It seems like it's going to be a really good facility here for the city.
Make a motion, we accept it.
All right, Luana, motion. Sue, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Board. Then Mark had 2 publication notices. Is that done already?
Well, it's been circulated. They've got them in front of them, so
All right.
we're setting hearings for, one for January 9th, 2024, for the dimensional variance, and it's got the legal description on the property attached. The other, would be the February 13th, 2024, dimensional variance also with the legal attached there, so.
This is supposed to be coming up in the future.
Yes, ma'am.
This is past January 9th.
Yeah, because we had our meeting scheduled right after y'all were, right after we met.
Okay.
So you just ratify, it would be that one, we need to do 2 separate motions, that to ratify that publication, and then the other would be to approve the publication. So
All right,
ratify
Sammy,
the-
ratify the publication. Who has a second?
Second.
March, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And then the other was gonna be to approve the publication for the February 13th, 2024 hearing.
Approve the publication, February 13th.
Make a motion.
March,
Second.
Luana, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Board. The next thing that I have for you is, I'll just give y'all, I made copies. I don't expect you to answer tonight, although I would love it if you did. Last year we joined the Mississippi Main Street Association. It's been a wonderful situation for us. It's very, very, it looks very prestigious. It gives us a lot of credibility. We were only an associate member, so we got the cheap rate, which is awesome. if we were to continue in this, then we could go ahead and pursue designated status, and if we did that, we would then have access to $500,000 grants. But you have to be designated. So it's a process, so they want us to go to trainings, and they want to mentor us, they want to give us some toolboxes, so it's been pretty good, I think. I've really enjoyed it and used a lot of it. But you see that second page there is the dues, and that's what we pay to join. When you get all the way up to the top status, it's in the tens of thousands. So we're not there yet, and we might not choose to go there, but, you know, for now, it's a really good situation for us. So I would ask that you consider renewing our associate member status for $500.
You got any questions on it?
I make a motion.
Sue has a motion. Juan second, all in favor?
Thank you so much, Board. Okay, the next thing is the bicentennial merchandise. I know you've seen a lot about it. Here's our, this is my calendar, but this is one. It's so beautiful. So it's kind of huge, but that's okay because we wanted it, everybody got to pick the pictures. So these are actual photographs that were chosen by, you know, different, there's your courthouse. For McGee, we've got the McAlpin House in there. Everybody voted on it and stuff. It's got a little write-up about it, and it's very nice. So this is one of the big pieces of merchandise that we want to know about and sell. But there are other things too. T-shirts, stickers, can coolers. I was interested in a blanket, but apparently we don't have that information yet. Hats, bracelets. So there, we have this vendor form. I'm just going to give you this so you'll know about it. We don't have to do this. It's totally up to you. If we want to sell some of this merchandise or make it available for sale, we can do that, and we don't have to if we don't want to. But the Simpson County Genealogical Society has already bought it and paid for it. So if we wanted any of it, we would pay them for it, and then we would resell it. So they have suggested retail prices. So the suggested retail price for this would be $15. So we would pay them $7.50, and then the tax that we would have to pay on it would come out of our $7.50, which, you know, would be minimal if we wanted to do this. And I think that the chamber is also going to figure out, I think they're going to decide if they want to sell some stuff too. So if you wanted them to sell calendars instead of us, you could. I just think it would be good for us to think about having some of this visibility, you know.
One or the other group needs to.
Yeah, one of us needs to do it for sure. But I didn't want you not to have that opportunity. And then the T-shirts and the stickers and all of these things have been designed. They have marketing groups and committees, and so they've designed all of this. So it's supposed to be pretty cool. So you can think about, we don't have to give an answer about that today or tomorrow. I just wanted you to see. I mean, I definitely, this is my calendar, so I'm pretty happy about it. But I want a T-shirt for sure, and I wouldn't mind having some of the other stuff. But like I said, you can think about that. Okay, the last thing I have is I just want to leave this in your hands. It is, we've discussed it before about the garbage problems at the apartment complexes, and now you know, of course, that there are other problems because trash leads to kind of an atmosphere. It's unsafe, unhealthy, and not just because it's unsanitary, but it kind of just leads to other things. So we want to try to clean up as much as we can. So this is a letter that I've given to Tim to look at, and I've talked about it, and I just wanted to show it to you so we would all be on the same page because we all need to be a united front against this. It's going to take a lot of work. And like I said before, some of the apartment complexes have already started working real hard. So there's been progress at Park Place, and I've talked to that manager, very nice, very cooperative, very much wanting to partner with us. And Colonial, they have cleaned up quite a bit. High Speed over there on Rebecca across from Entergy, that's been completely renovated, remodeled, so that's gonna be wonderful. Stacy continues to be a concern, and some of those in that area. So, you know, and it's not just that they're not doing what they need to do, it's that when people don't do what they need to do, then we have critters, lots of critters. And so they drag it all over, so it looks really rough over there on Raleigh Drive going toward Dry Creek. And it also looked pretty rough at the, across from the Shell stations. The Shell station does it right. They've got everything they need, they're very much in compliance, looks great, they have no problems. If they do, they get out there and pick it up. So we know it can be done. We know that they care about it. It looks wonderful. So, but the place across the street, which is owned by the same man who owns this one over here, which looks fabulous, the Star Flea Mark. I spoke with Mr. Singh, and we had this conversation. He's wonderful, and he's gonna have to build something. He's gonna have to address all that, because trash from his little shop right there at the corner of his lot has been strewn all the way back into those woods, and you can see it. It's on the street, it's everywhere. So he's working on that right now. So we have been talking to these people and giving them some, information and giving them kind of some deadlines of things to do. But the large furniture continues to be a problem. So what Tim and I said, what we had discussed before, is give them an option. They can get their own stuff, their own company, or they can partner with us. And if they're gonna partner with us, it's gonna be $1,000 a month. But even then, they're gonna have to pick up, they're gonna have to clean up. It's just not gonna be magic. It's just it's an ongoing kind of cleanup mission. But I wanted you to have this letter so that if you have any problems, or you want me to change anything in there, or if you have any concerns about how that might be implemented, we can, I don't want to go forward unless y'all are on that same page with me.
That sounds good. You want this to go into effect February 23rd?
Well, Tim and I talked about how long it would take somebody to get in compliance, and like I said, a lot of them are already working right now. To make a decision would take a few minutes. They're either gonna get their own company, or they're gonna get us to do it. That's not a lot of problem. That, to make a decision, So I thought that was generous, February 23rd, but, if y'all have any comments or ideas about any of that, if you think, like I told you, if you think of a better way, I'll do it.
It's definitely a problem, I agree. I think that was a good
We're
idea.
not
job on
getting, I know this is a draft, this will go out on letterhead, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, I want to have as many conversations with people. I have been having as many conversations because, writing in a letter and putting stuff in writing and giving them the ordinance is helpful for them. But they need to know that we're not just trying to punish them, we're trying to work together. This is all of our city, and we want it to be attractive and safe, and, we want the problem to be solved. So, if there's anything that I need to change, let me know. If I made any errors, please let me know, because,
I've got a question.
yes, sir.
Section 407,
Mhm.
fences, walls, and hedges. Upon effective date of this ordinance, the erection of fences or walls and the planting of dense vegetation, hedges, etc., in front yards. Are we still allowing that?
That's what our ordinance says. No one really does it, but it is allowed. But it's not done because if anybody wanted to build their fence in the front yard, they would want it to match what's on the side, and it would impede things. So that's why we don't have a lot of that. But it's also
That's something
vegetation.
we need to look into, because we got into that over here on Second Avenue.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll need to change that word.
We need to put some teeth into that.
Yeah.
Where we can get that stopped.
If we had our own fence ordinance, like I think Shane had given y'all several drafts a few months ago of different, now, let's not get crazy and do that 12-page one that we saw from Madison. Nobody wants that. That's insane. Where it said like it's gotta be this tall and it's gotta be made out of this, whatever. We could have a fence ordinance, and it would be better probably for everybody, because what some cities around us have done, including Mount Olive, which I was real surprised about, is they made a fence ordinance and then they gave people a year to comply. Maybe it was 2 years. But they gave them a date, and they said, you don't have to have a fence, but if you're gonna have one, it needs to look like this. And if it doesn't look like this, so it would be because all of us have different ideas of what a pretty fence looks like. So some of us like those kind that are short and that look like, it's for keeping animals enclosed in. And some of us think those are very stylish, but some of us don't like that, and we like those other ones. So we don't have any kind of conformity right now. We don't have any standards. So right now, we can't tell anybody, no, you can't
See,
do.
that's what we need to get out there.
Yeah.
One, y'all,
Yeah.
'cause
We need, we talked
And we
about,
need
we
to-
need one,
we need to
and,
do that pretty quick.
yeah,
Mark, can you look into that and get us something
and see if,
drawn up pretty quick to where we can
see if we
maybe
can
get
give them a
ahead
date,
of that?
as to, if we do put in an ordinance, and somebody's got a fence that's not in compliance, give them so long to get it up,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, the other part of that we probably want to consider is that there are some individuals who don't have fences and don't show any interest in having a fence, but they need a fence. They need a fence. And they need, I would even go help them put up that fence. That's how much they need a fence. But if you want, Mark, I'll give you all those drafts that Shane already put together because that was some pretty good work. That's all I have. Thank you, board.
Thank you for all you do.
Hey, Chad Logan, before y'all leave, the 227 Fifth Avenue property is right beside y'all. Y'all may want to be here contacting on it borders y'all.
Thank you.
Okay, Parks and Rec, Jimmy Zilla.
All I have tonight is the presentation which I gave you on how we should handle selecting, and y'all vote upon it, of how we should carry our, and conduct them as they use the park.
It was a rental agreement, wasn't it? It was a rental agreement, or field rental agreement?
Correct.
Yeah.
And my only suggestion to Jimmy, and the board can approve it subject to this if they want to, but some of the bullet points were utilized in a portion of it. But I would just recommend numbering and doing sub-numbers like, Roman numeral 1, and then you could do 1 sub 1, 1 sub 2, Roman numeral 2, or, section 2, 2.1. Just some sort of numbering in the event that one of these rules is violated so that, it'd be easier to cite to it if you ever had to write a letter to any group or team that might have violated one of these rules. It makes citing back to this form a little bit easier.
So if we approve it,
Yeah.
you could get with it and put,
We'll just we'll number the sections and that, but it doesn't change the content of what's there.
okay. I'm making a motion we accept this with Mark making the update he was talking about on it.
Sammy Sue is second. All in favor? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Another question on parks and recreation. I know, Jimmy, you may not be able to answer this, but
I can't hear
somebody,
you. Mark.
parks, the city park over here.
Yes, sir.
Anybody got any updates on where we are with that, or?
I've told Christian, I said, we ready, just whenever you ready. I think he's trying to get some more donors, because
Well, there were 2 exceptions on that contract that 2 rules or 2 additional provisions that we wanted added. So I've still got to hear back from the contractor on that to make sure that they were kosher. That was only on the tennis court restoration. So that part is still, we've still got 1 variable that we're still working on, but that's just for the court restoration. So, but I don't know about the other.
Maybe we need to
part.
get Christian. Our next.
we don't need 500, his goal was to get 800, so he's working on some private donations for it, and I'll see if I can get him here next board
I
meeting.
know Tim has already left, but can we get that other, there's a pile of lumber there.
Thank
Some old
you.
tires.
Yeah.
A whole slew.
If we
Yeah,
get that
we'll
cleaned
get
up,
that.
go ahead and just clean that
Get
area,
that.
because that's still a safety hazard. If
Okay.
somebody gets over in there and gets on a nail or something, it's not gonna be good.
We'll try to get the track over there and get that done.
That needs to go.
Okay. Nothing else, Jim, on Parks and Rec? Anything else? All right, Beanie, animal control matters.
I do this evening. 12/25/23 to 1/16/24. There was a total of 18 calls answered, 12 ordinances served, 6 complaints, 4 dogs was impounded out of them 6 complaints. 1 ticket for tethering, 1 ticket for running at large, on the bar, that's gonna change. And 4 citations was issued during the cold and icy weather. We tried to warn them through McGee News, that didn't work. So I started writing tickets. I assisted the fire department on a house fire. The 2 little dogs that was in that house has been returned to the owner. And I had a complaint, which is still ongoing, at 636 Ackerson Drive. Dogs crossing Dry Creek Road and killing a guy's chickens that he sells eggs, and just about got him wiped out. So that case is ongoing, and he has, gotten a citation, that's still ongoing. That's all I got, unless y'all got something for me.
I hear you had a lot of donations on your dog feed when you put out for that.
Yes,
Do you need more? Somebody sent me a message.
not right now.
Okay,
Not right now, I'm stacked.
gotcha.
I'm hoping to maybe get some donations on maybe some kennels, I can get this dog pound moved.
Yeah, you know, we moved it from the, over here to Steve Barn to down in McNair Spring.
Yeah, that's gonna be a better
You got
building.
2 or 3 donations already? How many you got on those kennels?
Dick the Grubs bought 2 kennels. And there's a, 2 ladies that's got some order, they ain't come in.
And my brother said he'd buy one.
Yeah, got your brother. That's gonna be a better
You
building.
want 12 down there, right?
Yes.
And then we've got to do a little concrete work, is that
Yeah, there's
correct?
gonna have to be a little concrete work done, especially on the front. Now, where they, when I go in there to feed them, especially clean, you can move them out front. You don't have to worry about dogs running around. So some dogs you can let out and clean, they're fine. Then you got some dogs you turn loose with other dogs, you gonna have a problem. And I've done faced that at the pound I got now. But it's gonna be a better building, bigger, more space. We've already got all, get the lights and, we've got gas out there, that way they can have good heat.
Got some shade down there at the
Yeah.
summertime too,
Got
where you
shade.
don't have it over here at the barn.
Right. The pound, I tarped it, a couple days before this cold weather hit. The pound's got all tarps on it, knocked the wind off of them, got some brand new heat lamps. I ordered some dog houses, which they ain't all come in yet, but I have put some barrels inside them, inside the, kennels where they can go in and out. That barrel takes up a lot of room. It's small like it is, and you put some barrels in there. But they are protected from the cold weather. That's all I got.
Do I get more questions for me?
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Mayor Dave, Danny.
All right, Bill Inspector Matters, Kara's actually taking class back here. But Penny, you got everything there?
I got it. So she had, she wanted y'all to know that Walmart has begun their updates. They've already started working. I don't know if you've been in there, but it's a very different look right now, and so they're working at night, and she's got them all taken care of. The Mill Creek situation is resolving very nicely, and they are ready to go. They have submitted the plans they needed to, and she returned those with minor notes, so that should be coming up pretty darn soon. And then she's talked to T-Mobile, and they're getting ready to go ahead and put their shop in the Nukes area. We have Mr. Duckworth's McGee Sporting Goods. He's working on that, and Karen and Charlie have already visited with him. He's already gotten his, the only thing we're waiting for on McGee Sporting Goods is they have a clause in their lease that they can't attach metal to the building, so they can't put the sign up that they want, that they need to, and I don't want them to have it
Well,
hanging.
the sign's on the front of the building this afternoon.
Really. Thank you for that. I'll go by and check with them.
It was on the front of the building when I came through this
Well,
afternoon.
the way it was on the front of the building was it was suspended,
No,
and I
this
told them.
looked like it's attached to the
Okay,
front
all
of the
right,
building.
that's good. That's how it was supposed to be, but he was afraid that they couldn't get that in their lease because they didn't want them drilling into the metal building. I said, I understand that, but you can't have a sign whipping back and forth. You can't do
It
that.
looked like it was attached to the building when I came through this
Okay,
afternoon.
good. Well, we haven't done our final inspection, and he's not ready to open, so I'll be happy to go look at that. And then ready to move forward on 2 commercial projects, as in the beginning stages, but that's because of zoning, and that will be the Gardner Dental, and then a new commercial development from the Hands. So we look forward to working with them to bring those 2 things to fruition. And then we have one more, it's a housing development that's going to be built on Colonial Drive, pending the zoning hearing in February. So we have a lot of things going. We have a lot of activity, a lot of people coming, a lot of people wanting to come to McGee. And so I think that's all good. And of course, as I said before, Kingsley College, they've got their contractors going. You got a new contractor now, right? So we're gonna try to open, they're gonna try to open by March and get that going. So Kara's kind of busy. here and there and everywhere, but that's wonderful, we love that. So everything's going kind of smooth. Y'all have any questions for her? I'll be happy to relay.
She
What
presented
about
us,
the, go ahead, Mark.
she presented us something the last board meeting on increasing the building permit fees.
Yep.
I
Yep.
think that's something we need to seriously look at doing.
So
because
since
we-
then, she has gotten 2 more cities, and what we talked about today was, y'all have already adopted the 2021 code, which has a fee schedule in there.
Right.
But if you think that that's exorbitant, we can modify that based on what the surrounding cities do.
You can have us some information by the next board
Yeah,
meeting.
so for example, what we have right now, so Walmart paid $9,000 for their permit. If we had a different fee schedule that was more in line with cities around us, they would have paid $11,000. Now, we don't have a Walmart giant thing like that every day, but that's kind of an example to show you what might be happening.
What would it have been by the standards
By
for
the
the 2021 building?
it would have been closer to maybe 13. But that's why she said she didn't want to, she just wanted to recommend that y'all think about whatever you want to do. If you want to go with the 2021 code, we can, but it probably does make more sense to do like we did with zoning, and we kind of just, like for our signs, for example, we just tried to stay in line with what everybody else was doing. It just makes more sense.
But just something to think about, because we're still charging what we were back in 2000.
Yeah. I mean, we've got
We
to
need-
adopt a new fee, but I'd like to see what the cities around us are doing.
Okay, so she'll have a
But now
new,
we've got one here, I'm looking at it now.
yeah, she's got 2 more.
She's got 2 more?
Mhm.
Okay.
So we get that by next
Get us
meeting?
those.
Yeah, for sure, yeah, yeah.
What about our office, the furniture for the,
We actually have 3 more quotes coming. We had one company come in and they measured everything and they sent us the, the drawings, the illustrations that they did, and it looks fabulous. Now, they might come back and say $25,000, who knows? Or they might say $1 million, who knows? I don't know what they're gonna say. But they're working on that quote, so we've got that. And then we had Mr. Anthony Kraft come in and talk about building for us. That it might be cheaper just to, especially that front desk, because it has to be special and custom. Well, if we need it custom, he could just build it for us. So we have that we're waiting for too. And in addition, he gave us an estimate on these 2 little closets back here that need to be, one needs to be expanded. So he's gonna give us, so that they can put all the secure information that needs to be locked up in that room. We're in a room that can be locked. So he said, he looked at that and said he would give us an estimate for y'all to think about if you want to remove that wall, so it could be a room for storage, and then all the other stuff that's just sitting there, we can figure out where it needs to go, maybe in trash or somewhere else, somebody else's office. But yeah, so by next board meeting, she should have those 3 more furniture quotes by then. Are you talking about me?
yeah?
You, that one.
She did good. She did you justice.
Thank you.
Call her name, she wasn't here. Call her name. Okay, that's all building inspector matters. All right, code enforcement matters, Shane.
Board I passed out a while ago for the meeting on a property over here on 11th Avenue Northwest, 228 11th Avenue Northwest. Last Monday, we had a fire at that residence during the rainstorm that come through. And upon being there, deemed this structure as being unsafe. Had all the utilities disconnected from the house. And if you go by there, there's caution tape still up on that residence. So what I'm asking board, and this is a property we've dealt with before, this is also where Mr. Beanie come and got the dogs at that night too. Also Miss Kara and Miss Penny, I took them over there the next morning to show them the conditions of the house so they could look at it also and to deem the structure unsafe. And it's a menace to the public health and safety in that community. And I'm asking for y'all to, let's have a hearing on that property. It'll be for February the 20th, the scheduled hearing for that, for that property to be cleaned up.
Thank you.
What was that address again? 628 11th Avenue Northwest.
Make a motion to proceed with the
Mark?
Second.
Sammy, second, all in favor?
Aye.
The only other thing I have, board, is in next month in February is the Mississippi Association of Code Enforcement Conference. Is in February the, I think it's the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. It's on the Friday. It's on a Friday. I think it's the second Friday of the month. It's in Meridian. It's just a one-day conference. But there is a fee for it. I'll give all the information to John, but what I'm asking is for y'all's approval to be able to go to that conference. They got some new legal codes and stuff that has been, the House and stuff has passed, and some new legal information for code enforcement, property cleanup and stuff. So.
And for Kara to go as
Oh, yeah,
well.
Karen, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Yeah. But I just need y'all's permission to be able to.
We've always sent them, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We set aside money,
Yeah.
if we need a
I think
motion, I'll
it's-
make a motion.
Yeah, I think it's $75 that's in the conference, so, per person.
All right, Sammy has the motion.
Second.
Fabulous, second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. That's all I've got, board, unless y'all got anything.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
Property cleanup.
Uh-huh.
I know we've got a list here.
Yes, sir.
And some of these names, and addresses are from previous.
Hearings and stuff we've had?
But,
Yeah.
what, explain to me, what is the process procedure in Penny or Kara?
Mhm. On cleaning them up,
We
and
know
doing the
as
hearings?
far as issuing a letter to somebody that, do y'all wait till you get a call from one of us, or?
No.
Or are you out looking?
I'm
every
out
day?
looking, me and Miss Penny meet on numerous, she sends most of the letters out now because they're through zoning. But me and her talk numerous times throughout the week and meet. And then, I just deal with the cleanup parts of them when we have to do the hearings, so.
The property next to Energy on that corner,
Yes, ma'am.
it's been like that since 2016.
And it's on.
It's awful. It's a block off the highway. If
Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
turns up it, they probably think we're terrible.
Well, that's a main though.
Yes,
So,
something's gotta give.
so this list that I'm looking at now, these are all the letters that were sent.
Well, the list you want the one I sent y'all today?
Mhm.
Which I'm actually looking at this, I've left one off, which was the one I just brought up that y'all approved. These are the ones that I requested hearings and stuff on this year already. Now, they have not been cleaned up yet, because like I've done in the past is, I've waited till we get numerous ones to bid out.
I'm
so.
talking about the initial letter.
Yeah, that, Miss
Just for
Penny's
instance,
handling
like,
them.
like me, I got out and rode around a little while this weekend. I could give you 3 or 4 pages of addresses here.
Mhm.
That's where I'm going with.
Yes, sir. The letters are sent, and it's like, and Miss Penny can help with this, you know, if they make an effort and start doing the slightest thing by law standards they can, and then they stop, well, we start the process all over again.
And you'd probably be surprised, the more you send out, a lot of people they get that letter, a lot of them gonna start cleaning up. Some of them are not.
We send out a ton of letters. I know Miss Penny
Can we-
did, I
Why don't we
did.
have a
Yeah,
list
can
of
we
that?
get,
Yeah, Miss Penny keeps a
Yeah,
list.
I
She's
will.
she's got that, like I said, this is just what I'm doing on the cleanup,
next
so,
board meeting, can we get
yeah.
every board meeting who got a letter?
And who got an orange tag, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so all the
I
fees
didn't
and
get a
stuff.
copy of half of the residents, and you got an extra copy.
The one on 11th. Oh, yeah, you can have this. I printed one out, so, but, yeah, I just email them out to
I might have
y'all.
mentioned this before, but there are two pathways to dealing with cleanup. One being through our zoning ordinance, which has the citations that are heard through municipal court. Fines are paid for violations of the zoning ordinance. The other one is this statute 2541-7, where our board can determine whether or not the property is in that public health, safety, and welfare violating condition. And then the city can enter and, or the owner can have the opportunity to clean it up at any time.
Yes, sir.
After you make that determination, but once we have that hearing and make that determination, then any actual cost that the city expends cleaning up that property or subbing it out, we can come back and assess against that property in taxes or lien. You've got two different options at the level as to how you can put a lien on the property.
And we're
So-
responsible for 24 months after that. so-
But they're kind of two different things that work together to accomplish the same purpose, but it's two highways of getting the job done.
Yeah, the cleanup goes through, we use it through the fire marshal's office, that's where it violates the public health and safety that we use, that gives us, with our adopted codes also, that gives us that authority to be able to deem it unsafe and, you know, for the public health. So,
Can I request that y'all send that property a letter?
yes, ma'am. I've sent them numerous ones. Ms. Penny, I think,
I have to.
they do a little bit and then it piles right back up. So, I mean, it's just it's an ongoing process until it gets to a state that where it does violate public health. I mean, it is, but,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Thank you.
But and it has to, you know, certain criteria on that to meet the public health and safety welfare, you know, a violation for that over there. So,
21/1911.
yeah, and looking through the conference coming up next month, it actually talks about a lot of this. I was looking over the rundown of what the conference, and it's got a lot of the legal stuff that they're going to discuss. So there's some new ways and new things to be able to do. So
What I didn't understand on this one was like, their first letter went out in June, but we still dealing with it now?
yes, ma'am. It takes that long sometimes. That's like I said, if they do something, one thing, it stops.
Okay.
By law, we can't do, as long as they're making an active attempt, we stop.
Gotcha.
We can't proceed forward with that. So, I mean, that's the downside of using, you know, a state law for that, so. You know, that was one of the things, when we presented the fence ordinance about kind of like the things for the city, kind of like a HOA style thing, you know, that it gives you more options of what you can do, more quicker, you know, terms and stuff you can go with on things like that other cities have, so.
And I know the thing that MML, or the Municipal Attorneys Association, circulated a while back, and I think I gave y'all a copy of that, was that 21/1911, that statute where we have these hearings,
Yeah.
that's their recommended way of cleaning private property.
We're
You know,
using,
We're using that.
Yeah, well, that's
but
what
we're
we
also
use.
using the teeth in the zoning
Yeah,
ordinance.
and that's actually a quicker process than it was 2 years ago. That's actually cut the time frame in half. So, but,
How does Brandon and Pearl get all theirs cleaned up?
that's what I'm talking about. They use like a similar to a HOA for the city. They have their own written adopted standards ordinances. And that's, you know, we presented that in that workshop along with defense ordinances and
so
stuff that
maybe we
time, so.
might need to get a committee together from each ward, get a representative or two from each ward, and
Or do you just need to codify your existing ordinances and put them in the form of, I think that's what they do.
Either way, you know, I give y'all what
Some
some
of
of the other
theirs-
We
cities.
have to make a change, because
Yeah.
this is not working.
You know,
Yeah. And that's what they use. I think it was Oxford, Madison, Brandon, Gulfport, you know, they've all have things like that are pretty strict, so.
obviously, what they're using has more teeth in it.
It does. It has a whole lot more.
What we're doing, we ain't getting nothing done.
Just the city of Brandon, even a vehicle can't sit on the roadside more than 24 hours without being towed. So, you know, I mean, and it's just different cities is, you know, what they have, but, you know, I'd be glad to, you know, we revisit that and, kind of go through it and, you know, see where y'all want to, what we need to do that fits our city. You know, because what everybody else is doing, some of their stuff don't fit for us, but what'll actually fit for
why
us.
don't you get with Mark and y'all get some of these different cities and places around and give something that will work for McGee, and we might need some input from some of the residents.
Yes, sir. And, But yeah, I'll get with Mark and, let him look at what some of these other cities, because I've got their stuff at my office, and, we can kind of sit down and go through something
Now,
that'll fit
we
for
need
us,
to
for y'all to
have a-
look at, so.
Hearing with us or with the zoning board to, for the
Let us
people to
just
come
look at
in
it.
and
Yeah,
get.
We'll look at it and start from there and figure out.
We need to do it.
I agree, and, even our fines isn't the greatest on that, because we end up in court, you know, whether they pay it or not, but, so. But, yeah, if there's anything else, but yeah, I'll get with
Let's
Mark.
work on that real hard.
I will.
Try to get that as soon as we can.
Get us a list of all the letters that are sent out.
Yes, sir.
Between each board meeting.
Okay. All right. Y'all have anything else for us? All right.
Thanks, Shane.
Yes, sir.
All right, but fire department matters.
Thank you, Mayor. Board, I really don't have nothing. If you guys got any questions, I don't have nothing for tonight.
No.
Anything?
Y'all went out yesterday in the weather, yesterday morning.
Yes, we had two calls. We had one about 4 in the morning, which was just a malfunction fire alarm, and then we had one out off Mangum Garner Road. It was a minor, it was a fireplace, a mobile home, and it actually, wood fire burnt through the wall in the back. It was minor damage. Red Cross got in touch with them, and they're gonna help them some on that, so, because they had young kids, and to keep them out of the cold weather, they're gonna help the next couple of days. But, thank the Lord, no, we had no bad act. I know there were wrecks, but we weren't caught any, so, there was no extrication, no complete losses or anything like that, so we done good. So,
Thank y'all for what you do.
Thank you.
Okay, next, IT matters. Then we have a new Facebook page. Am I right, Luana?
Yes,
Penny,
Penny.
Penny, you want to just comment on the new Facebook page?
We have, well, our new website is up, our Facebook page is linked to the website. We have Instagram, we have WhatsApp, we have X, which is Twitter. So we have everything basically now. And we have several administrators, and I go on and look at the posts. So all the posts that we're putting, we disable the comments. We were advised to do that because sometimes people kind of use it as a forum where it's not really appropriate. But we've connected to, especially in this last bad weather situation, so we've connected to FEMA and MEMA and the police department's around, the fire department's around, and so it's, and the schools and closings and things like that. So got a lot of positive comments so far. We've got 264 followers so far on our Facebook, and we're directing people to Insta and the website and still updating that every day, so.
Who are the administrators?
Luana and Sue.
And you,
And you, and you, because you can mind.
but we're not disabling the old Facebook page until this weather gets out of here and we can get the word out about the new Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on IT? All right, this concludes our meeting other than executive session by the police department, right?